Voices that shape the narrative, truth that stands unwavering, culture that defines our people, governance that drives change. The Bangsamoro Lens.
After nung nangyaring agreement naman nung pumasok na si Cory?
Ayan. Well, the agreement continued and during the time of Cory, actually madami ng nabuong mga usapin during the time of Cory, but unfortunately because yun nga nagkaroon naman ng there's an internal issues that are happening within the Moro National Liberation Front, no? Yun nga yung sabi mo nga kanina, because of the revolutionary government, hindi masyado natutukan yung process or progress of the Tripoli Agreement of the peace talks na humabot. Actually, ang sabi nga nila, it is one of the longest. Technically, we haven't finished it up until now.
Yeah.
The Tripoli Agreement is still there. Hindi pa napipirmahan yung exit agreement. And then, umupo yung government ng bagong agreement with the Moro Islamic Liberation Front.
Pero alam mo, ang maganda po rito, through this Bangsamoro Lens, we will give credit where credit is due. Titingnan natin kung probably we will give information kung ano yung mga naging ambag ng ating mga naging presidente ng Pilipinas. Of course, alam natin si then President Cory Aquino nailatag doon sa ating saligang batas, no? So, yun yung naging catalyst or kumbaga that paved the way for all these kumbaga juridical entity, so to speak. And then nung pumasok po yung GRP MNLF agreement, it was during the time na ni then President Fidel V. Ramos, no? So nagkaroon po ng kasunduan, GRP MNLF agreement between Normie Suarez at saka ni Fidel Ramos. In fact, if I recall it right, nagkaroon ng issuance ng executive order, Executive 125 that provides the mandate for the continuation of this kind of direction insofar as the peace process. And then eventually, alam naman natin nung nagkaroon ng GRP agreement, at the time, umupo bang governor si Normie Suarez?
Yes, he was the first governor.
Or pero saan pumasok yung kaninong administration yung nagkaroon ng tinatawag na 6734 for the creation? Parang kay Cory na yata yun eh. Yung 6734, yung creation of the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. So, kaya ang nangyari dyan, nung nagkaroon ng, when the agreement concluded between the GRP and the MNLF agreement, one of the concession at the time is paupuin talaga si Normie Suarez as head of the regional government. Yun.
And then nagsunod-sunod na nga. No?
Pero siyempre, alam naman natin, Nords, na from MNLF, at the time, nagkaroon na ng factionalism or division sa dalawa. Kaya that give rise to the MILF. So, nagkaroon ng dalawang factions. Ibig sabihin yan, during the time of then Fidel Ramos, parang ang agreement is between the Normie Suarez, MNLF. So, left out ngayon si MILF.
Okay. So, kumbaga balikan natin, during the time of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., or rather, President Ferdinand R. Marcos, President Marcos Sr.,
okay.
it paved way to the Tripoli Agreement, which is the peace agreement.
Okay.
And then next was Cory na, that established or nailimbag sa batas.
Yeah.
I
I believe panahon ni Cory nung lumabas yung 6734 for the creation of the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao.
And then came in Ramos naman, Fidel V. Ramos, and with his vision of Philippine 2000, if I'm not mistaken, na nagtuloy-tuloy into ARMM.
Yeah.
During those times, no? And then, nung succeeding Fidel V. Ramos, Sino nga ba yung next na president nun?
Si Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo
Si
na.
GMA na.
Oo, si GMA na.
Or was it ERAP muna?
Nag-erap muna tayo for a quite short period of time. No? Si ERAP.
Very short period of time.
Anong nangyari kay from Fidel Ramos, pumasok si ERAP. Okay.
Yes.
In fact, nag-continue yung negotiation until nagkaroon ng
All-out war.
all-out war.
During the time of
okay.
ERAP, na kumbaga nagulo.
Mm.
Nagulo yung negotiation.
Yan.
Because ERAP doesn't want to give that right to self-determination idea and that having the autonomy to the Muslims in Mindanao. And the result was the all-out war in 2004, if I'm not mistaken.
Ayun, actually, 1989 yung creation of the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. So this
Yun
was
yung
during the
pinalimbag
time.
na.
Yeah. This was the time of the late President Cory Aquino.
Oo.
And then in 2018, of course, after ni ERAP, pumasok na si Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo.
Yes. Oo.
Okay.
Ngayon, during the time naman ni Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, when she was pushing to have that government na, parang na-shortcut niya at lumabas yung MOA AD.
Okay. But which was eventually declared as unconstitutional.
Yes. So,
because one of the contentious issues there is
ano naman
yung,
nangyari doon? Bakit tila baga parang shinortcut ni Gloria, former President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, the peace talks that he made it possible to have that MOA AD. Paano ba nangyari yung Attorney Alex?
Ang nangyari doon parang to the observers, parang nagkaroon ng railroading of the process, no? But ang pinaka basis why the Supreme Court declared it unconstitutional is dun sa one of the contentious issues dun sa recognition ng ancestral domain.
Yes, the ancestral domain.
domain.
Kasi nandun Memorandum of Agreement on the Ancestral Domain. This is not yet the
Hindi pa yan.
ARMM,
Wala pa yan. So, going back, so anong nangyari dyan, pumasok na si Gloria, yung MOA ED, tapos and then after ni Gloria Arroyo, pumasok na si Pinoy. Yeah. And then, palagay ko also Pinoy, President Noynoy Aquino Jr. ba yan? O the third, no?
The third.
Basta si Pinoy.
The third.
Also provided a strong framework for the agreement with the MILF na ito.
MILF na. Technically, MILF na ang umupo sa negotiating table. In which it leads naman doon sa na-question naman ng MNLF, paano yung namin, peace agreement namin with the Tripoli. So, eto nga, binuo itong comprehensive agreement.
So, kumbaga, parang ang naging dating doon, sabi ng MNLF, sandali, bakit naman ganyan? Samantalang tayo may naunang agreement, no? So, siguro, to make it more, kumbaga, parang expanded version or comprehensive, I should say, nagkaroon tayo kaya nga comprehensive.
Yes. Sama na si MILF.
Ano ba yung CAB? Ano ibig sabihin?
Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro.
Bangsamoro. So that paved the way now for the CAB. And then itong si CAB naman, ang offshoot ng BARM, which is the Bangsamoro Organic Law. Which was, dito pumasok yung, siyempre, katakot-takot na.
But ARM is already existing that time. Nung binuo na actually, ang una is the Framework Agreement on the Bangsamoro. Kasi, para lang malinaw, ARMM was given to the MNLF.
That's true.
The ARMM was for the MNLF. And then now, when some politicians or maybe constitutional observers, they said na, teka, medyo ARMM is not going to the purpose of what it was made because it has parang nagiging ano nga yung term na ginamit nila, because anyone who was sitting during the ARMM was a puppet government of the national. Paki-explain
ang nakita kasi natin doon, of course, ang context ng ARMM is para itong it's not more of an autonomous one but
Yan.
more of an administrative one. Ibig sabihin yan, control lies with the national government. So in terms of fiscal autonomy, in terms of control as far as the resources is concerned, in fact, the structure itself is a structure of a presidential form of government. So kaya ang nakita nung over the years, nakita nila na mukhang something is wrong.
Oo.
Kasi kumbaga it did not, sa madaling salita, it did not deliver what it has.
Yung sabi naman ng MILF, ang sinabi naman nila, asan kami dyan?
Well, basically,
Sa ARMM.
So, sabihin na natin na okay, nagkaroon ng ganitong pananaw na mukhang hindi epektibo. Sabi, yung iba nga, they consider this as a failed experiment.
Yun,
no?
that was the
Yun yung to sum it up.
ginagamit,
To
oo.
sum it up. No? Sabi na, that's a failed experiment. But essentially, dahil ang nakita doon kanina, you were mentioning na parang ang lumalabas, kahit sinong maupong regional governor dyan, with your respect, parang they take the cue from the Malacanang.
Yun yung di umano na nababanggit.
Yun yung nababanggit. So parang, sandali, parang kung tayo'y autonomous, kung may autonomiya talaga, even at the time sa
We should not be
IRMM,
dictated by the national
even the
government.
budgeting at the time, yung kaya sinasabi nga nila walang
Yan,
fiscal
isa pa yan,
autonomy
fiscal
dahil
autonomy.
you have to submit your budgetary requirement, no? During that time. Pero yun nga, and then nakita nila nagkaroon ng BUL that also paved the way for a shift from a presidential to a parliamentary form of government insofar as the regional is concerned, because this is quite unique, Nords, no? Na parang sa Pilipinas, sa national, we are operating on a presidential and unitary form of, bicameral form of government. And we have a regional government that adopts yung tinatawag nating parliamentary and
Yes.
unitary at that. Kaya nga, napakagandang tingnan natin ito dahil this could be a model
Pero before we go to that, ano ba, Attorney Alex, ang kaibahan ng ARMM and BARMM?
Well, maliban doon sa mayroong B sa unahan.
Teka lang, gusto mo mag-break? May naalala ako. may naalala na naman ako na trivia.
Ayan, may trivia.
Naalala ko
Kasi
naman. dun
parang
sa mga
from ARMM, nagdagdag ka lang ng B.
lang,
ng
B.
So, BARM.
Parang nagdagdag ka lang ng load na B.
B. So,
Ngayon, alam mo ba, yung common term natin na ginagamit in Marawi na top load.
top load.
Top load, it means doon ka sa taas. It's top load.
Okay, top load.
Di ba?
Okay.
So it's coming from the American term ba yan?
Okay. So,
Diba?
well,
Those are the terms that we do not know. Nakala natin is original from us, but it's not because it's American. Top load.
well, balikan ko yung tanong mo. Ano yung mga significant features
Yes,
ng dalawa,
yes.
no? Doon sa IRMM, we are operating on a presidential form of government. There's no fiscal autonomy. Control and supervision is quite strong with the national government. Election on the regional governor as well as the member of the regional legislative assembly were voted directly by the people. And then regional governor is elected separately from the under the BARM, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Ito, we are operating on a kumbaga transition of presidential to a parliamentary, meaning kaya po meron tayong mga members of the parliament. And the members of the parliament comprises the the so-called Bangsamoro Transition Authority.
Yes.
Ito yung ating legislatura, so to speak. And part of the, I would assume that part of the mandate of the BTA is really to come up with laws, regional laws that would uplift and that would give meaning to the very purpose of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Meron tayong fiscal autonomy, but essentially, ang pinakamaganda mangyayari po rito, ito yung kauna-unang pagkakataon that we will do away with the appointive
Yan.
nature of the position ng mga members ng parliament and the chief minister, because pag natuloy yung election, the chief minister will come from and among the members parliament. Kung titingnan natin dyan, under the parliamentary form of government, the BARM, this is more of a, may tinatawag tayong party-based political,
Ayan,
party-based
yan yung-
party system. If you compare it to the old ARMM, this is more of a personality-driven. Kasi individual dito sa BUL, dito sa BARM,
Parang party list.
party list ito. Kumbaga party-based yan. Ibig
Party-based.
sabihin, hindi siya personality-oriented na election. Meron kang district representative sa level ng member parliament, meron kang sectoral representative, at meron kang political party-based representative. So, ibig sabihin dito, Nords, kung titingnan mo yan, ang maganda rito, mawawala na yung ang ibinuboto mo, yung personal, yung individual, but you have to vote based on the party's platform.
Yan.
So, palagay ko, hindi naman ako yung tipong masasabi mong wala ng political dynasties. Meron pa rin, but palagay ko ang tinitingnan natin dito is yung tipong you have to filter or tone down the presence or the patronage for political dynasties.
Oo, tama, no? Pero teka, if you would compare itong parliamentary system that we have now in the BARMM, paano nga yung structure ng parliamentary system naman natin sa BARM that is existing already?
Well,
Ilang tao?
ang ano kasi diyan sa ngayon, alam naman natin as early as nung nagkaroon po nung comprehensive agreement, yung BUL, tinawag natin itong transition, Bangsamoro transition. Sa ngayon, yung members of the BTA are all appointed by the President, including the Chief Minister. So structurally, kumbaga from an appointed nature of their authority to sit in the kumbaga legislative body, magkakaroon nito ng sort of mandate directly from the people. Kaya nga binabanggit mo, Nords, na hindi ito BARM election, but this is more of a, to coin it properly, should be the Bangsamoro Parliament election.
Yeah.
Because what we are electing is not the chief minister directly by the people, but only the members of the parliament.
Ilan?
Well, 80 yan. If I recall it right, parang meron tayong, basta ang composition is 80 dapat yan. Merong manggagaling na parang 36 yata dun sa district. And then we have 40
sinasabi mong party.
Sa party. And then meron ka pang mga sectoral
na
representative na indigenous, youth, women, blah blah blah, no? So ito ngayon, sila na yung bubuo ng parliament, yung Bangsamoro Parliament. So hindi na ito matatawag na transition. This is now a working parliament na ang kanilang mandato nanggaling mismo sa tao, hindi nanggaling sa appointment. At with that, ang mangyayari po sa Chief Minister, yung membro ng parliaments, Nords, sila yung mag-e-elect ng kanilang Chief Minister. And in fact, ang sabi nga nila, ang maganda pag sa parliament, yung accountability rests with the party. In fact, ang maganda din po sa parliamentary form of government, those party who will win the most seat probably will be able to elect their chief minister at sila yung magiging accountable dyan. Ngayon, from within their party system, the chief minister can be ousted by a mere vote of no confidence. No? Hindi yung, kumbaga, ibig sabihin po niyan, ang termino ng isang chief minister, hindi po fixed term yan. So, yung kanyang pag-upo bilang chief minister will be observed or will be assessed according how efficient he or she can deliver the party platforms, the party's vision and mission. So, dito, ang CCC natin, hindi yung individual, kung hindi yung partido.
Okay. Attorney Alex, on a broader note, yung mga yung mga neighboring countries natin are running in through parliamentary system, if I'm not mistaken, di ba? Like in Malaysia, in Brunei, and in area of Indonesia. Ngayon, in the Southeast Asia region, tayo lang yung republic. No? Ano ba yung
Presidential
republic, yung ating form of governance. Ngayon, kanina nabanggit mo that if this parliamentary system of governance would be successful in BARMM, would it be possible na makopya in a national level?
Well, actually maganda to dahil kung maalala mo yan, Nords, even during the time of then President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, he was pushing then for the federalism form of government. But of course, alam na natin yan.
Which is the main ingredient to have
ingredients. That's part of the, pag sinabi yung federal form of government, it's giving power to the local government units, no? But basically, itong BARM na to could be an excellent model. This could provide a glimpse on the national government, assuming na maging successful yan. Because tama yun, binabanggit mo, in the ASEAN neighboring countries, practically, halos lahat yan operates
in a parliamentary form.
Parliamentary form of government. You look at Singapore, Malaysia.
They run by the Prime Minister.
Run by the Prime Minister,
merong presidente
including
pa.
Thailand. No? So, maganda po ito dahil ito, ang mangyayari po dito, basically, kaya ako, somehow I'm quite excited na makita natin na the election push through because hindi po malayo na ang BARM could be a something that will be a catalyst for the nation.
Oh, yun nga yung pinaka-importance of having this first Bangsamoro Parliament.
So dalawa yan, it's either kumbaga sabi nga nila with flying colors tayo.
Oh yeah.
Or it will be hopefully hindi naman na maging sort of a failed experiment na naman. But of course tayo we hope that this kind of change of form of government this will strengthen the accountability rin ng mga party.
Oo. Now, mentioning the 11054 which yun nga yung comprehensive agreement on the Bangsamoro. This is one of those na dapat natin makumpleto. Dapat natin mapagdaanan for the government to finish yung peace agreement that we have with the Moro fronts. Kasi technically with the BOL, the Bangsamoro Organic Law, all fronts are there. Kasama na yung mga
iba't ibang mga groups and politicians is somewhere, no?
Masasabi ba natin na this is one of the completion doon sa Bangsamoro or doon sa 11054?
Well, yan yung pinaka-challenge din at the same time, no? With the existing structure natin ngayon na alam mo ang ginawa ng government with due respect sa national government, it accommodated the different fronts, no, so to speak, to provide them an opportunity to have a voice, no. At sa atin, we will all pin our hope, so to speak. This is the first time in the history of the Philippines na magkakaroon ng ganitong klaseng halalan. Sabi mo nga one time, may binanggit kang asymmetrical eh.
Yes, asymmetric form of governance.
This is quite unique because we are in a presidential form of government but we will be exercising a kumbaga sort of parliamentary election at a regional level that may trigger a national awareness. So, well, hopefully, Nords, no, doon sa mga susunod natin na mga episodes po dito sa Bangsamoro Lens, mas magbibigay pa tayo ng perspektibo. In fact, eventually, ang plano rin po namin ni Nords, no, talagang hopefully we can invite in the coming episodes yung mga parties naman para siguro they owe it to the people. Malaman kung ano ba tinatayuan nyo. I mean, what's your vision, what's your mission, what do we expect from the party. Kasi ngayon, busy yung lahat ng mga partido. Halimbawa sa BARM, dun sa nakita ko sa in one of the posts, no, meron na pong 16 na party.
Yung sinasabi mo.
Parties na nagpa-accredited ba yan or petition. So sana yung mga political parties na yan hindi mauwi sa parties lang yan. No, so hopefully yan note yung ating bibigyan ng punto di vista sa mga susunod na episodes natin.
And hopefully para malaman natin yung pinaka-structure talaga pag-ahanda din ng COMELEC.
Yan, kasama pa yan. Sana we can invite the COMELEC also.
Bangsamoro Parliamentary Election, mas makasama din natin ng COMELEC to explain further on what we are to expect on the Bangsamoro Parliamentary
Election. At saka ang maganda po rito, yung nabanggit po namin ni Nords, no, we will eventually dissect and
ito'y pasakali pa lang tayo.
Pasakali pa lang. Ito po eventually these are sort
You
of
will be
we were
marami pang trivia.
Marami pang trivia. Ito pa lang po yung kumbaga pa-intro pa lang po namin ito. And eventually we will expect that also the viewers natin sana po yung ating mga nanonood sa atin, Nords, no, yung ating pangpinaling statement. Of course, halos hindi natin naramdaman na magdadalawang oras na tayo
ganyan nagagamagdang diskusyon.
Pero actually, kala ko nasa intro pa lang tayo. So,
intro pa lang yun.
Intro pa lang yun. But
madami pa kaming mga
marami pa po kami
wala ka sa lolo kong mga trivia.
Marami ka po kami mga kwento na wala ka sa kwento ng lolo ko, ng kapitbahay ko. But we will make sure that meron po kayong matututunan dito, especially those who are living outside BARM. Of course, yung mga as far as Visayas, Luzon, and Mindanao. Alam mo, ito maganda sa podcast, North, dahil hindi lang tayo sa regional mapapanood. National level, at hindi lang yan, even abroad.
Yes.
Sundan nyo lang po kami doon sa ating YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok. Ayan, yan yung mga platforms na makikita po nyo doon si Nords. Si Nords naman, hindi naman ito, but you're not from Maguindanao, Nords, no?
Hindi, Maranao.
No, sabi ko nga si Nords lang yung Maguindanao na Maranao.
Anyways, marami pa tayong pag-uusapan on the next segment. So, on the next episodes of our ano ba pag-uusapan natin on our next episode?
Well, doon sa mga susunod na episode natin, medyo bibigyan naman natin ng muka kung ano yung what do we expect from the forthcoming Bangsamoro Parliamentary Election. Alam mo, masyado akong maingat dyan dahil ikaw yung nag-correct na, sandali, hindi ito BARM election. This is, kasi this is a Bangsamoro Parliamentary Election because what we will be electing is yung ating mga member parliament, and we hope that eventually in the next episodes natin, we will be inviting yung mga stakeholders natin. Pag sinabi mong stakeholders, sino yan?
These are those who will be participating in the coming Bangsamoro election, Bangsamoro parliamentary election, those who would be voting, and those who will be running.
Yan. Akala ko kasi when there is stake, there's holders.
Oo.
So magkaiba yun.
So what are those at stake?
What's the stake? Saka,
pero parang naalala kong
how did we get here? Parang ganun. Bakit ba tayo nandito?
What's at stake?
What at stake, no? Minsan pag sa yung lingwahe naman ng mga ano sa akin diyan. Malaki po ang
lingwahe ng Korean.
Malaki po ang pag-aari nyo rito dahil ang pinag-uusapan natin dito yung ating kinabukasan. Kailangan po natin ng critical na mga kababayan. We expect that through this Bangsamoro lens, mas mapapaigting natin, Lord, yung awareness. Let us demand something to our would-be members of parliament. Kumbaga, wag po tayong manahimik. Sabi nga natin, buhay po ang ipinusta rito. Daang taon ang struggle na ginawa, and this is an opportune time for us to embrace what's coming for the first Bangsamoro parliamentary election. So with that, Nords,
maraming salamat.
Pasalamat po tayo dun sa ating mga, actually kanina tinitingnan ko, mayroon na raw tayo mga 1 milyon na followers.
Talaga. Maganda yan.
Ayan. So again, ito po si Attorney Alex Sabaton
At ako po si Nords Maguindanao.
at ito po ang ating Bangsamoro Lens.